If you enjoy the content on this channel, please like and subscribe. Inside Out 2 has become a major success for Disney. The coming-of-age film, which is a sequel to Inside Out released in 2015, revolves around the personified emotions of joy, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust, and most definitely will be leaving Disney with lots of joy. The Walt Disney Company has often found itself in the midst of culture wars, dealing with calls for boycotts and people proclaiming that the company has become far too woke and left-leaning. Yet the massive box office success of Inside Out 2, which has now become the biggest earning film of the year, proves once again that people do want to watch Disney content, and this film has now proved to be a major hit. Recently, of course, Disney was drawn into a political battle with Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, beginning in 2022 when DeSantis pushed forward a bill that the term gay could not be used within schools. For some reason, some say that this film isn't too woke, unlike the studio's other release, the spin-off Star Wars series, namely The Acolyte, which has been heavily criticized for being far too woke, female-centric, and focused on using pronouns. The show, created by Leslie Headland, who is openly queer, and also the first woman to create a Star Wars series, has been heavily criticized for pushing an LGBTQ+ agenda, and the series has been called woke light by some commentators. Now, the strange thing about Inside Out 2 is that it focuses on values like diversity and inclusion that in the past have made Disney a heavy target of right-wing commentators. And the strange thing as well is that last year the film Elemental, which used the metaphorical relationship between fire and water to explore themes such as prejudice, the immigrant experience, and even a story about love overcoming all obstacles, was met with little criticism. And even though the film nearly drew $500 million, it certainly did not have the same hype as Inside Out 2 has. But for some reason, Inside Out 2, which now has premiered 9 years after the original, has really proven a true success. And in a year where most big movies seem to be underperforming, has almost been an outlier. The movie added a further $100 million at the North American box office during its second weekend. This is a new record for an animated film, and the film now has passed June Part 2 as the biggest release of 2024. This could mean that this film could easily go on to make $1 billion, which has become few and far between since the COVID-19 pandemic, with sequels Avatar, Top Gun, Spider-Man and Jurassic World, as well as the original films Barbie and the Super Mario Bros. Movie managing to cross this coveted mark. Disney has consciously sought to hide away from engaging in political battles. CEO Robert Iger, who rejoined as CEO in 2022, said recently, "We have to entertain first. It's not about messages." Disney, like any other major corporation, prioritizes profits, stock prices and shareholders, which means, of course, it doesn't want to alienate any potential future customers, and it doesn't want to draw lines along the political divide that is now rife within the modern United States. That's why it was somewhat surprising when former CEO Bob Chapek finally chose, albeit blatantly and under a lot of pressure, to criticize Florida and Ron DeSantis' new governmental choices. This, though, was done to defend and represent Disney's employees. Thus far, though, Inside Out certainly looks like it could be a huge win for Disney's new strategy, which is to remain impartial, albeit using subtle and nuanced messages within its own films. In a film like Inside Out 2, if you want to see the messages, you will see them. If, however, you just want to sit back and relax with a good family movie, then it also appeals in that regard. And Inside Out 2 may not be Disney's only big hit of the year, with a much more adult satire superhero film Deadpool and Wolverine expected to be another huge attraction in 2024. This film, of course, acts like a complete juxtaposition from Inside Out 2. But once again, it now maybe shows Disney's new versatility, trying to reach multiple demographics. Those shows like The Acolyte have proved to be critical fodder for the more conservative viewer. Disney is still, in some ways, managing to rake in a lot of money, all while subtly getting its message across.